There's something really philosophical about traveling by train. Something about the constant ebb and flow of passengers getting on and off at different stops on the line, about how each of us is ultimately on our own path to our own destination, but somehow we got to share this one piece of the journey together. It's been a long time since I traveled this much by train, but it really has a way of making you slow down to enjoy the journey as a part of the experience. A few weeks ago, Jaren and I had the opportunity to visit Japan for press coverage at the CP Plus Photo and Imaging Show. We spent the first 4 days in Yokohama and Tokyo covering the show, and then we plan to spend the rest of our trip visiting lesser-known cities in Hokkaido up north. We decided to travel entirely by train, both local and high-speed, to get there. I had spent very little time researching the cities that we'd be visiting, and honestly, that was kind of the point. I wanted to show up and see what was there, rather than spend the whole trip trying to plan what I'd be shooting and what I was hoping to find. Especially since we'd be visiting lesser-known cities, I actually had no idea what to expect, but I was excited to learn and discover along the way. For this entire video and entire trip, I was shooting with the Sony a7 IV. I've been using the Sony system for over 6 years now, and my usual camera is the a7R5. The a7 IV felt immediately natural for me to use, but still different enough to feel exciting and new. It turned out to be the perfect camera for this trip because it didn't take me out of the present moment, and I felt really comfortable being able to use it for both photo and video throughout the trip. With the a7 IV, I only brought 3 lenses: the 28-70mm f2, the 50-150mm f2, and the 16-35mm f2.8. Alright, let's get into it. The first stop on our tour is Morioka, which isn't quite in Hokkaido yet, but was an important stop for us on our way up north. Morioka is famous for 3 completely different noodle dishes, all with their own origin stories. And today, we're gonna eat all 3. In the same day. The reason Morioka is known for these noodles is actually for geographic reasons. Rice doesn't grow well in these cooler conditions, so other grains like wheat and buckwheat became staple foods instead. Our first noodle dish was Morioka ramen, which was invented when a Korean immigrant ended up in Morioka after World War II and adapted the Korean dish with local ingredients. The most notable difference he made to the dish was making noodles from potato starch instead of buckwheat flour, which is what gives it a more transparent look. With 1 bowl of noodles already in our stomach, our table at the next stop was ready for us. This one was a really fun one. It's known as wanko soba, and the concept is that your server will continue to fill your bowl with a small portion of soba noodles over and over again until you eat to your heart's content. Your soba also comes with an assortment of toppings and condiments that you can eat it with, but at the pace that everything moved, it was so hard to think about anything else. About 15 bowls of wanko soba is equivalent to 1 normal serving of soba, and by the end, I had eaten 34. With our second lunch finished, we took a break finally and walked around the town, just to take photos and enjoy. I'm gonna get this. For our last bowl of the day, we waited in line at one of Morioka's most famous restaurants to eat Japanese jajangmyeon, which I immediately recognized as an offshoot of Chinese jjajangmyeon. When you reach the end of your dish, there's a ritual for cracking a raw egg into the remaining sauce and then pouring hot water over it to make a finishing egg soup. It was amazing, but at this point I was so full I could not eat anymore. The next morning, we woke up early to take the Shinkansen to Hakodate, which took about 5.5 hours all up. At one point, we went through the world's longest undersea rail tunnel, which took about 25 minutes to pass through. It was still morning when we arrived, so we stopped at this little coffee stand, and this very nice man made us one of the best cups of coffee from the entire trip. Hakodate was one of the first Japanese ports that opened for foreign trade in the 1850s, and you can still feel that when you walk around. It doesn't look like anywhere else we visited, and it didn't look like anything I had pictured when I imagined Japan. It's days like this where I'm really happy to have a lens like the 28 to 70mm f2 because it does everything I need, and I only have to carry one lens with me all day. For lunch, we chose a random spot on Google Maps that was serving obanzai, and it was actually one of the best meals of the entire trip. Obanzai is a traditional style of home-cooked food from Kyoto, using seasonal ingredients and simple techniques. Everything that came out was incredible. It was small dishes of seasonal vegetables and fresh fish, and I took all these photos because I wanted to remember exactly what it looked like. Not to post them or anything, but just to have them. And this is actually how I feel about most of my photography. Using it as a way to preserve memories and moments that I want to remember in the future. Our last stop for the night was at the top of Mount Hakodate, which is considered one of Japan's top 3 night views. I had swapped out the 28 to 70 for the 50 to 150, and I had a great time with it. The city sits on a narrow peninsula with water on both sides, and from the top of the mountain at night, the lights form this cool hourglass shape across the dark. We woke up early the next morning for the fish market, which is basically required if you're anywhere in Hokkaido. There's actually a spot inside where you can fish live squid out of a tank, and they prepare it as sashimi right there. Even though it was like 8 a.m., we obviously had to sit down for our first proper kaizendan. Then we had a bit of time to kill before our next train, so we stopped by the botanical gardens and then headed on our way to the next city. Otaru used to be one of Hokkaido's most important port cities, but these days it's a bit quieter. It was honestly a really nice place just to walk around and shoot until it got dark. I honestly never really shoot at night, but with the A7 IV, I was really excited to see how these nighttime video shots came out, and I'm really happy with how they did. After another morning kaizendan, we boarded the train to our last new city of the trip. Snowboarding was not really part of the plan, but when we found out there was a small resort only 40 minutes away from the city, we had to do it. I only just learned how to snowboard back in December, so it felt crazy that the second place I've ever snowboarded was in Hokkaido, Japan. The weather was not the best that day, but I definitely got better and I didn't catch an edge the entire day, so that's a huge win for me. Jaren filmed all of these clips on the A7 IV handheld without a gimbal, so I'm actually pretty impressed with how smooth some of them actually came out. keep coming back to about this trip is that none of the best moments were ones that I had circled on a map beforehand. The noodles we ate, the restaurants we wandered into, the one random snowboard day, or even the hour and a half that we spent waiting in line for this cornbread at the airport. You have to leave room for those things to happen.
It's so warm. Look at it. Wait, it's the shape of a corn kernel. Ow, it's hot.
Japan is so much bigger than the version of it most people see. There's a whole country north of Tokyo that most visitors never make it to. Cities with their own food, their own history, their own texture. When you don't know what something is supposed to look like, you have to actually look at it. And I think that was probably the best part about traveling through Hokkaido for me.